start, let me give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushai Bahasham, Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all like the Akimo Akwath of learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. Another video for the Spirit. Alright, we're going to be dealing with a popular topic among the Christians, which they horribly misunderstand. Dealing with the rapture, and more specifically, the 7 years of tribulation, which these idiots incorrectly misinterpret. You know, a combination of some verses from Matthew the 24th chapter and from Daniel the 9th chapter. And the reason why, you know, the Spirit, the inspiration hit me, you know, hey, I was listening to the brothers, this is one of the brothers right here, Micah Allah, but I was listening to their camp video. The brothers, these are the LA brothers. Then this brother right here, which I'm going to leave the link to this video, immediately after the tribulation of those days. Because these Christians, they believe that the tribulation is 7 years, you know, 3.5 good years, 3.5 bad. The Antichrist is going to be down here, you know, humping strippers, getting his balls licked, beating up dogs, and doing whatever, right? Just doing what niggas do. But his name is Mr. Satan Antichrist, right? Then Jesus. But before all that, Jesus is going to get all the good people, and all the bad people are going to have to stay down here and just suffer. No, all right, no. That's a complete misunderstanding of the 7 years of tribulation, right? So we're going to go, in which I'm going to leave the link for this brother's video, because he was giving the whole breakdown, dealing out of Matthew the 24th chapter. So what we're going to go to first to make things easy, we'll deal with the shorter one first, which is Matthew the 24th chapter. The tribulation mentioned here is the things going on in the aforesaid verses. All right, so Matthew 24, let's go to right here. This is the title that he had used, Matthew 24 and 29. It says, and Shalom, brother, you know, if you happen to catch it. But in Matthew 24 and 29, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. So what tribulation? Is it talking about a 7-year period? No. After those things is all the things mentioned here in these verses. At the return of our Lord, it will be the Yahushai's return will be congruent with the fall of society, World War III, the mark of the beast, and the end time calamities. You go through, you know, these verses. It tells you what. Let's go through. Let me just go through. Jump back. Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and see that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. All right, so these are part of the tribulations, in which we're feeling some of them now, but we haven't entered full onset Jacob's trouble. And when we do enter it, we're not going to need to question it, because we'll know, as the apostles been saying for years now, right? So these are a part of the tribulations. It's not talking about a time period where all of a sudden we're going to look up and half the earth's population is going to be gone because they were the good Christians, and the rest are going to be down here getting beat up by demons and marauders, you know, and Antichrist and Mr. Satan himself. He's going to be down here, you know, fucking prostitutes, doing rap videos, and riding fucking Harleys, right, with a flame chain on, slapping niggas, slapping their spirit. Come on, man. All right, that's what these niggas imagine, and well, they get it wrong. So, you know, just a real quick, easy, just look at the aforesaid verses. The shit that's the tribulation is the things going on, the destruction, the suffering. And then our Lord Yahushai will appear to do what? Verse 30. So keep in mind, even the chosen, the elect, will go through a time period of tribulation and suffering. Just because, you know, if I and you brothers, you know, sincere brothers and sisters. Just because if we're a part of that elect doesn't mean we get to skip out on suffering. The times of tribulation is a test for everybody. So the Messiah doesn't come take away the righteous before the suffering. The Messiah comes in the midst of the tribulation, okay? So verse 30, and what is he going to do? And then shall appear, and then, so not before, but after, shall appear the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. The Messiah, Yahushua, is going to return with the angels. He's going to return with the giant chariot, and many other chariots will be heralding him in to whoop some ass and save the elect. Verse 31, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So right there. So Yahushua will come in the midst of destruction to save us out of the destruction. What's another example of that? Luke, the 12th chapter. Luke 12 and 49. This is red letter. All right. And just straight at it. It says, I am come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it already be kindled? So once again, the fire is going to already be a bracken. All right, as Jake says, it's bracken, it's cracking. There's already going to be destruction on the earth, and the Messiah will return in the midst of it. There is no 7-year tribulation period, 3.5 good, 3.5 bad. But the good Christians got raptured up first, and everybody else left on earth has to go through 7 years. And if you are good, but you got left, you can potentially get said, no, that's a crock of shit. Let me get another one. Everyone is going to be down here in the midst, but the elect, that remnant, will prevail. Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Do we not live on this bitch? You live here. I live here. Your mama live here. My mama live here, right? Your dog live here. Ants live here. We're down here on the earth. This is where it's going to take place, and then the hour of temptation is dealing with resisting the mark, right? Those who resist the mark, many of us will be pushed out of society, and some of us will be put to death, will be beheaded for the testimony. That's the hour of temptation, which the people of the world are going to fail, which is why they're going to take it and be destroyed in thermonuclear flames, all right? And specifically those in America. So now we dealt with that part, right? So now let's go to Daniel, the 7th chapter, and take a look at Daniel, the 9th chapter, verse 24. Take a look at the 7 years. So Daniel 9. Now this is a vision given to Daniel, and what this is pertaining to was the rebuilding of the temple, 70 AD. Well, shit, you know, that's I said it slightly funny, but the rebuilding of the temple, the arrival of the Messiah, his death, and then the Romans agreeing not to fuck us up, and then the Romans fucking us up, which was 70 AD. And I'm gonna read the verses, and then I'm gonna let the apostles actually break it down. So Daniel 9 and 24. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city. What are the 70 weeks? 490 years. Each week, 70 times 7, you get 490. It says, are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city, to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins and to make reconciliation for iniquity and to bring in everlasting righteousness and to seal up the vision and prophecy and to anoint the most holy. Now, so if you remember in the history, you know, the Jerusalem had to was laid waste and sat, you know, uninhabited for 70 years. And then the Israelites, you know, under Zerubbabel and Joshua, we were allowed to go back into the land and begin the rebuilding of the temple through the 3 kings, Cyrus, Darius, and Artaxerxes, right? So verse 25, which I'm gonna let the apostles, you know, they're gonna break it down better than me, of course. But I'm just giving the summary over the verses. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. All right, right, which is 69 weeks, which represents 483 years. So from the laying of the foundation of the temple, the rebuilding of the temple, until Yahushua hit the scene, 483 years, otherwise known as 69 weeks. It says the street shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous times. All right, so as we were rebuilding, we had the heathen try to stop us from building. Let me get that real quick. Hinder. That troublous times ain't talking about 7 years of suffering with the Antichrist. You know, he's gonna be down here. You know, I'm being funny, but you know, imagine, y'all, if a guy named Mr. Satan McAntichrist was down here, what would he be doing? What would he be doing? What niggas do? Fucking hoes, eating food, and killing folk. He's not gonna be down here with a snapback on, turned back. All right. Let me see. I don't want to interrupt where I was at, but I'll deal with Nehemiah 4. Nehemiah 4 and 7. It says, "But it came to pass that when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabians and the Ammonites and the Ashdodites heard that the walls of Jerusalem were made up and that the breaches began to be stopped, then they were very wroth and conspired all of them together to come and fight against Jerusalem to hinder it." So right there, we were trying to rebuild and the heathen were putting hell on us. That's the troublous times. It says, "And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself, and the people of the..." Okay, but not for himself. So 62 weeks. So this one's obvious. Yahushua came. He was down here for a minute. He did his ministry, and then he died for the elect, beginning with the elect, which is going to roll over to the whole nation and the kingdom. It says, "And the people of the prince that shall come to destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood. And unto the end of the war, desolations are determined." So now that's dealing with 70 AD. The Romans, the people of the prince. What people? The Romans. Who were the ones that came and destroyed us during 70 AD? The Romans. Who were the one that crucified Yahushua? The Romans. All right. Now the Israelites were there. The Jews consented unto it. But whose kingdom was it under? The Romans. Let me get this. What where's that? Okay, yep. John, it looks like it's John. Yeah, John 14 and 30. It says, "Herefore I will talk not much with you, for the prince of this world cometh, and hath nothing in me." Right, so who... Now, was there a singular prince who came and captured Yahushua? No. But who was currently given the rulership of, Jerusalem at this time? Who? The Romans. So that's the people, the prince, who came and did harm to us at 70 AD. And they also did harm to Yahushua. Coming back, verse 27, "And he shall confirm the covenant." Now this is a bit of a time jump, because verse 26, the end of it, it says, "And thereof shall be with a flood into the end of the war. Desolations are determined." So they destroyed us in 70 AD. But for verse 27, this is explaining how the last week, which isn't a literal week, but for a time period, the Romans had agreed not to fuck us up and to let us live peaceably. But that ended in what began the Roman-Jewish wars between 66 AD to 74 AD, when they knocked down one of the last strongholds, Masada. All right. So verse 27, "And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even unto the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate." So they ran up in us, ran up in our spot, ran up in the temple, destroyed everything, took everything, right? Slapped down the altar, So this troublous times is not dealing with a 7-year period. All right. And matter of fact, let's go to Google real quick. Now I'm gonna go to when the apostles break it down, each of the main parts. But I want to go to Google to show you this is what some of these wacky Christians believe. Right here. Now this shit's crazy. What is the 7-year tribulation? Just looking right here, y'all. The Antichrist activity during the tribulation. The Antichrist will broker a 7-year peace treaty. Daniel 9:27. It don't say that nowhere in there. We just read it, y'all. The Great Tribulation. This is off of. See, we just read it, y'all. Fuck is they talking about? Did it mention Antichrist in there? No, it didn't. The prince of this world wasn't referring. It was referring to the Romans, man. We just linked it back in John 14:30. Did Antichrist come and crucify Yahushua? No. Who did? The Romans. God damn, man. Fucking with a Christian. Make you want to pull your head out. Off of Wiki says a great tribulation says a period mentioned by Jesus, as they say in the Olivet discourse, as a sign that the world that would occur in the time of the end. It says in Revelation 7:14, the Great Tribulation. Matthew, they mentioned Matthew 24, which we went to. So views, you come down. So this is more, yeah, see now right here, this part is more accurate. Right here, they highlight 70 AD, which that part is correct. Now certain parts of Matthew 24 was dealing with 70 AD as well, but that Daniel 9:24 through 27 is heavily dealing with 70 AD. It's not dealing with the end times in today's time. Now let me go. Okay, let me go back for. Oh, let me see. I want to see the 3.5 years part. Okay, yeah. Let me come back. I clicked on that by accident. I meant to highlight down here or click on this one. What is a 7-year tribulation? It says, and they're breaking this down wrong. 2 Thessalonians 3, they're breaking down that wrong. It says, the Antichrist will broker a 7-year peace treaty. It didn't say that. A world empire will coalesce, eventually led by the Antichrist. It don't say that. Daniel 7:7 and 7:24. Though, bro, what the fuck? What are these dudes on? What y'all snorting out there, huh? In Christian land, y'all be playing with y'all nose in Christian land. Daniel 7:7. This fourth beast. This is who, y'all? The Roman Empire. We know that. Go down to the 24th verse, and he shall speak. 10 horns out of this kingdom. So yeah, see, this is dealing with Esau, Edom. This ain't dealing with no man named Antichrist. That word isn't even used here. But once again, leave it to them, and they'll break it down wrong. Why? Because they want to keep the spotlight off themselves. So here it is. So what does that mean if the Antichrist showed up down here and he's a white man? How about that? What would be the coincidence at? You know, come on, man. Revelation, and I'm just skimming through this shit, man. This is the bullshit they be on. It says the Antichrist will betray Israel, defile the rebuilt Jewish temple, and demand worship. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's another thing. So they misunderstand Revelation, the 21st chapter. These people are looking for a third temple. The third temple is the remnant, the elect being brought back together. The 144,000 men and the 1/3 men, women, and children, and the Israelites scattered abroad. That's the third temple. Now, will there be another temple in the kingdom of heaven? Yes. But the temple right now is ourselves, our bodies. That's the temple. Fucking idiots, man. Let me see. 7-year tribulation.
If you're a Christian and you're struggling to find someone who has the same values.
See, this is what these. See, man. Let me focus. Let me focus. Yeah, they're all bugging. There was one I clicked on, man. I want to find it. Somebody. It was when I was scrolling through YouTube. They said it was 3.5 years. Okay. Liberty University. Oh, this is a document. Damn. Why I believe the Bible teaches rapture before tribulation. Well, you're off, nigga. It don't matter why you believe it. You off. What they got to say? God damn. Yeah, we searching at the same time, y'all. And now this is actually one I just clicked on it. They actually got it somewhat right. They got certain of the times right. 7-year tribulation period. Fulfillment of the 7th week. They got it. You see, 490 years, 70 weeks. A week equals 7 years, and they're basing that off of what? The Israelite lunar calendar. So it's 1260. So hey, these guys right here got it halfway right. Whoever I clicked on, what did I click on? I clicked on this one right here, Ocean City Tabernacle. They got it, right. They referring to the 490 years, while you have some Christians who are referring to Antichrist, Mr. McAntichrist, meanie pants, who's going to be down here for a hot minute, being extremely mean and vile. Mean and vile. He's going to be, slapping dogs and committing adultery, eating hot dogs. Come on. Right here, I just clicked on this, and this was in 2020 because they asked us, was getting scared. It says, will Christians go through the tribulation? The answer is yes. Right here it says, as you might expect, if you know me, I won't give a quick yes or no answer. Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. Give these motherfuckers a straight up answer. All right, right here. It says, before we can answer this question, we need to know that what the tribulation is. It says, many Christians believe that the 70th week, 7-year period described in Daniel 9:24 through 27 still awaits, and during this time, evil will reign and God's wrath will be poured out on the world before Jesus's, which is Yahweh's return. In which that's an incorrect assumption that people have. Your old ass looking at old cracker. Salakia. Why would Christians not experience this? So he's going on to list, they're scared, y'all. They're just scared. That's all. It ain't nothing new. These niggas scared. So what we're going to do now, actually, we're going to go to the apostles, giving the correct breakdown. I spent enough time with this fucking shit. It's actually starting to piss me off because you go around. Here it is. I thought, you Christians, they all got different fucking stupid, funky ass beliefs, man. Bunch of fucking shit for brains. Couldn't differentiate a hole on the ground between a fucking anthill. Their life depended on it. Then we got the nerve to argue with us. Bitch, you don't know how many chapters the book of Daniel even got. Alright, Salaki, y'all. I'm about to let it play. Oh. So this is from this video right here. I'll leave the link for this one. You can find the other couple. Here, just this video, actually. It tells you 24 through 27. Yep. Hey, see, y'all, this is, see, recently, if you've been watching my channel, they had took off my playlist, one of my playlists that they gave me a strike for. These are the type of videos that I had saved to that playlist, man. And so you lose valuable links that you had saved over the years. Now this video was released 2 years ago, but the apostles had this run-in over a decade ago. So it's just like, man, you go back and find them gems, and it's beautiful. But let me let it play. Enough talking.
And to anoint the most holy. Reconciliation for 70 weeks are determined upon their people.
So I'm just linking it up so you can see it where the apostle is reading at verse 24. He's reading verse 24. So I'm gonna just have it like this so y'all can see it as he's reading it.
Upon thy holy city, to finish the transgressions, and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Now, 70 weeks represent, but I'm not going to go into it fully. I'm just going to touch on it. The 70 weeks represent 490 years. When you break it down. Like I said, I'm not going to go into it fully. It represents 490 years, about 500 years. But it says, know therefore and understand that from the going forth.
I had mentioned it earlier, but that 70 weeks is 490 years, in which this is, these events had to take place in history. The Heavenly Father had us kicked out the land rested for a minute, and then the Heavenly Father allowed us to get back into the land and to begin the building of the temple, the laying of the foundation.
The commandment
restore the going forth of the commandment to restore and rebuild Jerusalem. Now, when you understand history, you go to the book of Ezra. Really, you got to read all the chapters of Ezra. All right? And then you got to read the whole book of Nehemiah to understand that history. That's why I'm not going to go really deep into it. But read that part again.
Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem,
Now, the commandment came from Cyrus, then Darius, then Xerxes or Artaxerxes. When you read the history on that about Darius, Cyrus, and Artaxerxes, it gives you more history. So the commandment came from them. Because Cyrus wrote a letter, a decree stating that the Israelites can rebuild the temple because the Babylonian Empire had torn it down. So after they came back to the land, Cyrus said, look, you can rebuild it. So after he died off and other men came, the guy that was around when they were beginning to build it was Artaxerxes. So he said, go ahead, you can go ahead and build it. So they had other nations saying, we want to build a temple with you and we want to worship your God. So basically they said, nah, this is our God, the God of Israel. All right, brother, the God of Israel. So you can't build with us. So what happened was they said, okay, since we can't build with you, we're going to go to court and we're going to force Artaxerxes to stop the building.
Yep. Hey, and that's the part of the troublous times. The fact that the heathen were trying to disallow us from building by various means. That when you read, Nehemiah and Ezra, they physically came against us and they had sued against us.
So that's exactly what they did. But the Israelites came back and said, look, Cyrus said years ago that we were supposed to build the temple, build the city again, and there's documents on it. It's in the records. So he said, okay, we're going to stop the building, then we're going to find a record. Then they found a record that said, yes, the Jews are supposed to build the city of Jerusalem again. So when they found the record, they were able to build back again. All right? But so the last commandment came from Artaxerxes. Or Xerxes, that's another way of saying it, right? And this was during a period of about 445 to 444 BC. But
know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah,
the Messiah is the Lord. So if you go back 445 BC and you go about 500 years in the future, that's when the Lord was on the scene. So that's what it's talking about. They ain't talking about no 7-year tribulation.
Yep. So right here. So the apostles giving the breakdown. That's dealing with the the birth of Yahushua and him doing his mission when he was here 2,000 years ago. It's not dealing with no 7 years of Satan, Mr. McAntichrist. He wears his badge upside down. He wears his shirt inside out and his shoes backwards. Come on, man.
2 years from now. Go ahead.
it says, unto the Messiah, the Prince, shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks.
7 weeks and 62 weeks is 69 weeks, which is 490 minus 7. All right, go ahead.
It says, the street shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous times.
Now we're going to read about the troublous times. Let's go to Ezra. You ready?
So, right there, I'm about to jump to the next part where he breaks down the rest of the verses. Let's see. Okay, I found it. I had to do a little bit of digging, so I had to come over here to part 2 to pick up from where we left off. So, let's pick up.
4 and 2 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself.
So now this is covering verse 26.
And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary.
You notice he said he's going to be cut off, but not for himself. Because when the Lord came on the scene and died, he died for the nation of Israel. That's what happened. Go ahead.
And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood.
Now that's talking about the Romans. That's during the period of 66 AD to about 74 AD. But they said,
Yep, the Jewish-Roman War. When they ran up up in us, ran up in the spot, and put us down.
The scholars say 70 AD, but it took a number of years to bring us down. You had a number of great wars. You had a war. The first war was called the Roman-Jewish Wars. And that's why these Edomites come back and they'll say, look, the Edomites was done away with during the time of the Roman-Jewish.
So we dealt with, verse 26, so now I'm going to get the final part for 27.
There was no Edomites there. The Edomites were the Romans. Go ahead.
And the end thereof shall be with a flood.
And that's how the Romans came in on us, like a flood. Give me Matthew 11 and 12.
Many for
They call them stormtroopers. Go ahead.
and unto the end of the war, and the people of the
So this is picking up from, shit. I clicked on that Streamlabs. I'm hoping it doesn't knock the audio. Slacky, y'all. I hope that didn't. Sometimes it'll fuck up the audio. But this is picking up from 27, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. So we'll finish it out.
And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood.
And the end thereof shall be with a flood. So the Romans came in like a flood. They call them stormtroopers. Go ahead.
And unto the end of the war, desolations are determined. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week.
And that's talking about the Romans. They made a pact. When you read the history about the Romans and the Jews, they made a pact saying that, no, we're not going to do nothing wrong against you. This is your land. You're going to stay in your land. You're going to keep your laws. And in the middle of that pact, they said, no, you can't keep the laws no more. And when you read about when the Romans came in there and besieged Jerusalem, when they had the Passover, they allowed us with no surprises coming to the gates. So they were starving themselves. It got so bad in that siege that Israelites, men and women, all right? It got so bad in that siege that Israelites, men and women, all right? Deuteronomy 28:52. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest, throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, throughout all thy land. Now he's reading that in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, and they'll read that whole chapter, and when they get to this part, they don't equate that with the Roman Empire. When the Roman Empire took down Jerusalem during the time of 70 AD. Go ahead. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy God hath given thee, and thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body. Matter of fact, jump up above that when it says that this there's an eagle flag, show you that it's talking. 49. Go ahead.
And that's one thing about Deuteronomy 28 that the apostle's saying, shit, let me get back off this way. Deuteronomy 28 doesn't just deal with America only, it deals with several of our captivities. Because, getting snatched up out of Africa, we didn't have gates that they had to come storm down, if you will. But that we did when we were back at Jerusalem. So that's why, the apostle was, breaking it down. Hey, there's parts of Deuteronomy that deal with America, there's parts that deal with other captivities. And especially, 70 AD, we turned to cannibalism to try not to die, which was a result of the Romans starving us out. This is all a part of them coming in as a flood, and the war desolations are determined. They broke that covenant with us, so they broke the peace and they decided to come take us out. In particular, when 70 AD, when did they come get us, y'all? They came several days after the Passover. When you go read, you get online and read in the history.
Deuteronomy 28:49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far. See, that's why you got these guys like Mike Turius and Edomite Slayer and these other guys teaching them.
So let me see.
9 and 27. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease.
Now, didn't we just read that? He gonna cause the camels not to come in, the fruit not to come in, or nobody to eat. Go ahead.
And for the overspreading of
tribulation's dealing with. Not 7 years of Mr. Satan McAntichrist Jr. the third down here playing in his nose, you know, snorting coke and fucking sandblasting prostitutes, right? Not at all, folks. All right, so that was about it. I just wanted y'all to hear it from the, you know, from the apostles themselves, our teachers. All right, so we give all praises. I'm gonna leave the links for the brother Mike Allah's video, and then for this link, because this is a 5-part series for this breakdown of Daniel 9:24 through 27. All right, so I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash, the wonders to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all like Akim wa Akwath, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. Shalom.